Morning, everybody. We're right in the middle of corn harvest, and we got a big day coming up today. Last week we had a dealer stop by the shop and asked us if we wanted to demo a new corn head. So told him, heck yeah, bring it on out. We'll try it out. The biggest thing about this thing is that it's twice as big as the corn head that we're running. Right now we're running a 6-row Case IH corn head, and this one is a 12-row corn head. So it's going to be 38 feet wide, and really ought to get through the corn a lot quicker with this thing and be able to test out our machine. So they're supposed to be out here about 9 o'clock this morning and get the thing fitted to our combine and put us through its paces today. Well, look what just showed up into the field. There's that header. Didn't quite get here at 9 o'clock. They had some troubles, but it's about 2 o'clock and they just got here. So I'm gonna go take this thing off, put it on, and see what it'll do. Woo-wee! That sucker is big. Can't wait to stick it on here. Sucker is huge. Makes my 6-row head look puny. I might need some binoculars to be able to see out to the outside of that header. Holy crap, this thing is big. Notice something right off the get-go. The way his faceplate's set, the header is tilted way too far forward, and as low as some of these ears are, I'm worried about catching the snout. So I'm going to try and adjust the faceplate as far forward as we can to try and level the header out some. This corn head is a GTS X10 corn head. It's a 12-row corn head on 38-inch spacings. It's basically a base model because they're wanting to try it out on different model combines. So, didn't want a whole lot of stuff to have to adapt to a different brand combine. But it does have adjustable deck plates on here. It's got electric deck plates on here, so we got a knob mounted up here in the cab to adjust the deck plates in and out. So let's get started, and I'll give you a running commentary of how this thing's going. My first impression of this thing is it is a beast. Our corn head we own is a 2012 model Case IH 3206 corn head on 38-inch rows. It's about 20 feet wide, so we're going up to a header that's twice the size. This corn head is 38 feet wide, and probably about 39 feet wide when you measure from end of frame to end of frame. And it's actually 3 feet wider than what our draper head is. I've never shelled corn with anything this big, but this thing is a beast to get going through the field. And actually, I was kind of worried in our rolling ground, and this year we don't have a good corn crop. We had on this end of the county where we're shelling at, we basically only had about an inch of rain for 5 weeks right after tassel, but they're mostly grain fields, so we got corn, we got short corn, got extremely variable yielding corn, and then to top it all off, we had the remnants of Hurricane Laura come through a couple of weeks ago. After the corn had already died, it was drying down and blew a lot of tops out. But right here in this field, we're in a bottom field. I expect the yield to be pretty strong on this field. But I was worried about something this wide, not having any kind of automatic height controller or lateral tilt on it. I was kind of worried with the short corn on leaving ears on cobs and running into the ground and terraces. I gotta say, this it hadn't been a problem. I've been pleasantly surprised. Just starting off, some of the things that I really like about this corn head is I like the profile of the corn head. The snouts are shorter, so when you're going around curves, you don't knock down as much corn. It's just, I don't know, it's just got a different feel about it following the rows. I really like the snout design. That's probably first thing that stands out to me. Second thing that stood out to me is how cleanly it strips the ear off of the plant. With our Case H Cornhead, it seems to bring a whole lot of trash into the combine. It doesn't matter how wide you got your stripper plate set. For some reason, it brings a lot of trash in the combine. It either breaks off or cuts off a lot of corn cobs, and all that contributes to the combine not being as efficient in the cleaning and separating process as possible. But for the most part, this Cornhead is bringing in only the ear of corn, which can really help capacity. Another observation I'm really pleased with is bud shelling is almost non-existent. This thing has got kind of some tapered down deck plates on it, which I had that on my Case H head, and I really wasn't a big fan of it. It seemed to bud shell even worse. But these are designed really well, and it's hardly knocking any kernels off the knob whatsoever. I tell you what, putting this big wide Cornhead on here, it's really let me find out what the capacity of my combine is. I have run into some kudzu and got it wrapped around the auger there, so maybe I can get lucky and reverse it off. And that's just it. I was just about to brag about how well this thing does in morning glories, and mainly and not bringing the morning glories back into the head, just pulling them on through the stripper plates. Well, looks like I cleared it off. I didn't have to get out and dig. Yay me. Let me get this camera set back. Hopefully that's about where I had it. I don't know. Yeah, but going back to capacity and real good, like 250 bushel corn, I could run 3,300 bushels an hour with my 6-row Cornhead, but I was having to run like 5.5 to 6 miles an hour to do that. Let me try and get through this kudzu. So, I mean, you get in rough fields and small fields, we got a big combine that's capable of a whole lot, but we just didn't have the header to do it, and, I really have no desire to buy a new Cornhead, considering the one we got is paid for, and seeing as how the price of corn is in the toilet, really not a whole lot of reason to invest a lot of money into another Cornhead. So we made do for the last 3 years with that 3206. Try to get it turned around here. But getting back to this Cornhead, some of the things that I'm not a big fan of is the visibility of where the corn is feeding into the throat. The way this Cornhead is designed, the feeder faceplate is kind of, where it mounts is kind of recessed up into the Cornhead. Oh, there's a big wheel there. It's kind of recessed up into the Cornhead, and I can't see the units right in front of me that I normally watch. I can only see about the front half of the deck plates. So, it's hard to, normally I like to watch that to kind of gauge how bad the butt shelling is, whether I need to open my deck plates up or shut them down, and just don't have real good visibility the way this frame is designed. I'm going to skip around this kudzu here. But on the flip side, there's a reason for that design, and you got a 12-row Cornhead. You talk about a lot of weight, and the farther it sits out in front of the front axle, the more nose heavy your combine is going to feel. So I'd say this is probably the frame. The feeder plate's probably recessed in the frame, probably a good 12 to 16 inches. So it's basically moving the weight of the Cornhead back closer to the front axle. So the combine does feel a whole lot more balanced. So it's kind of a trade-off. The other thing I failed to mention on the front end is that this Cornhead is an all aluminum Cornhead. So the weight on it is very light for its size. I think the dealer told me it weighs in at about 6,500 pounds, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe our 3206 tips the scale somewhere around 4,200 pounds. So it's twice the size of my 3206, but it's only about a third more weight. So all right, we're full. Kelly, you want to come on around? I'm full. One of the things I was concerned about was, raising the back end up off the ground, but it hadn't been a problem at all. I can tell that the front end is carrying a little bit more weight, but it's nothing severe at all. So I'm gonna stop for just a second, get unloaded, and then we will continue the review. There's one problem with a big corn header and good yielding corn. Always waiting on a grain buggy. All right, where were we? Grain buggy just got here, so we can continue this video. I think I was talking about my dislikes of the header, which are few and far between. I'd say probably the worst feature on this Cornhead, is relatively minor, are the ear saver flaps on the front. They're pretty much a joke. They don't do much of anything at all. They're real flimsy, and an ear can pass by them extremely easy. And I don't know if it's the design of the auger or the gathering chains or what, but one thing I've noticed is that this header does have a tendency to kick ears forward. And like I said, I don't know if it's just the design of the auger or the interaction with the gathering chains or what, but you add that together with flimsy ear protectors, and you do have the potential to lose some ears out here. It's not many, and ultimately it's not a big deal, but it's something that I think can be easily remedied by putting some stiffer ear savers on there. Slow down a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, one thing I really like about it is going through weedy fields, especially if you got morning glories. Morning glories, I despise morning glories. It tends to get my old head fits wrapping up around the auger. The knotty rolls tend to bring it all back into the header rather than ejecting it out the bottom. But on this combine, it handles morning glories extremely well. It'll grab the stalk and pull all the morning glories and everything down through the deck plate rather than sending it through the combine where it has the potential to walk corn out the back of the rotor or whatnot. So I'm really impressed by that performance. This Cornhead does not have knife-to-knife rolls on it like my Case IH does. It's got kind of intermeshing knives. So, I mean, it looks like it's doing a good job on the stalk processing. I doubt, because the stalks are not cut up as much, I doubt that the stalks will decompose as fast. And when you're getting some really heavy corn yields and wanting the stalks to decompose as quickly as possible to make for easier planting next year, I don't know if they'll decompose as fast. I don't know if there's any. I don't have the science or any test behind it, but just from my observation, there's something I'll watch this winter and next spring, where I was cutting corn side by side with my old header.
Please stop at the end. Carter wants to ride.
and see if there's any difference in stalk and composition. All right, I'm gonna take another break. My son wants to ride with me, and I'll let him ride a few rounds with me here in the cab and see what this big Cornhead is all about. Carter, say hi to everybody.
He's not even going live, so haha.
Say hi. No, we're not going live. I'm making a YouTube video.
Well,
I'm reviewing this Cornhead and letting everybody know how much I like it or dislike it. No, you cannot drive, Carter. I don't own this head. If you were to dig it into the ground and tear it up, I would have to pay for it.
exactly, that's the point.
Yeah, no, not happening. You can ride all you want to, though. It's big, ain't it? I should have told you to bring my binoculars. I can't see all the way out there. Like, can I borrow your glasses for a second?
No.
Just for a second. I want to see if it helps me see it any better. Give me your glasses.
You're wearing contacts.
Give me your glasses.
No.
Give me your glasses.
Pay attention. You just want me to like put your blenders liner would go well with it.
Yeah, what go well with my planner?
Wait, what is this, the 12 bro?
Yeah. Alright, with daylight fading fast, I'm going to try and get this video finished up. I tell you what, it is tough to make a video while running this Cornhead. It takes about all your concentration to run as wide as it is. Just making sure you don't get anything, you're getting all the ears. But bottom line is man, I love this Cornhead. If we were actually in the market for a Cornhead, this would be at the top of my list of considerations. I think the dealer told me that the price on this head, brand new, is $87,000. So I'm not really sure how that compares to a Case H or a Drago or a Jerringhoff or a John Deere Cornhead. But I would imagine it's probably considerably cheaper. A company that makes these Cornheads is in Brazil, so it's a South American Cornhead, and they're just now they're trying to get started up here in North America. But I gotta say, after running it in a day and a half, it seems to be a real good product. It's something I would definitely like to buy if the corn market wasn't in the tank like it is. So just to kind of review my likes and dislikes about it. I love it. I love the snouts, the shorter, kind of slimmer profile of the snouts. I love the fact on how light it is, being an all aluminum head, as big as it is. My combine really doesn't know it's here. I like how well it strips the ear off the plant without taking a lot of excessive plant into the combine. So you get more throughput per hour on your combine. It's a little bit easier to set. Things I don't like about it. I don't like the view of the feeder house. Of course, that's just kind of a trade-off because the Cornhead is sitting closer to the front axle, so it doesn't feel as nose heavy. So it's kind of a trade-off. Really no way around that. But one thing they can definitely improve on is the flimsy ear savers. Hope they take that into account and use a lot stiffer material. I think they're the right size, the right location. They just need a whole lot stiffer material. And maybe look into why the auger or the gathering chains tend to kick an ear forward up through the snouts for whatever reason. I really haven't gotten down to examine it. Don't really know why it's doing that. I will say this. The Cornhead is made for a pretty steep learning curve on my combine. The settings I had running the 6-row were way off. I really had to play around with the settings to be able to get the combine to accommodate all the extra material this thing can put through the combine. In case you're wondering, I'm running a Case H 7120 combine that's chipped. This is a non-chopping head. It doesn't have anything extra on there to deal with the stalks like you might have on the Cornhead, basically because it's a demo model. It's a plain Jane version, but seeing what it's doing to the stalks, I really don't see any need for extra attachments. If I were to buy this head, I would buy it just like it is. Just probably put some kind of height sensor and lateral control on it to make it work a little bit better in our fields. This is a non-folding model. The salesman told me that he believes next year they're supposed to come out with a new folding model. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot more expensive, but for me, it'd be a nice feature to have, but really not a necessity. My draper header is 35 feet wide, and it doesn't fold up, so I'm kind of used to taking it off, whenever I need to. So it'll be the same thing with the Cornhead. Yeah, and I guess the one downside with having a head this big is all the other equipment in the field becomes your limited factor. It's no longer the combine, because this thing, I've been gobbling up 12 rows wide at a time. I get good clean corn, which I'm not in good clean corn now. This field is infested with morning glory, so I'm having to slow down, keep from running it all out the back. But you get good clean corn on this combine. I can. I was pushing 4,300 bushels per hour through it. So our grain buggy and our trucking became a limiting factor real quick. Otherwise, we really could have gotten over some more acres. So you get a head this size, it's something else you got to consider. It's about all I got. Really don't have anything else to add. I want to give a huge thanks to the dealership who bought it out and allowed me to run it for a day and a half. I'll post their contact information down in the comments. And if you're looking for a Cornhead, I'd highly suggest you at least consider this Cornhead and give it a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, this is a 38-inch model, but I imagine a 30-inch model or even narrow rows. I don't know what all configurations they come in, but narrow rows, I'm sure it would be just as good as this one. So appreciate you watching. If you like this video, and I'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel. Any kind of support we can get is always welcome. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned. We'll be back with more videos later. Well, that's it, folks. Hate to see this thing go, but it's been a pleasure run. Maybe one day the corn market will improve enough and our acres will increase enough to where I can justify this type of head. I sure did like it. Appreciate you watching.